Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've got Darren Little here from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and we are back again for a broadcast for Top Recruiters Academy. And we have something very, very special for you tonight. Guys, first of all, I want to share with you sort of what's happened with this evolution inside Top Recruiters Academy. Because what we do is we show you step by step exactly what you need to do to be able to 10x your income in any business. Okay, now I'm talking about any type of an entrepreneur. So if you're a person that works from home, you might be in the network marketing industry, you could be in the MLM industry, you could be in direct sales, you could be in affiliate marketing or online marketing, or you might actually be just a regular entrepreneur. You could be a realtor, a mortgage broker, an insurance agent in the automotive industry. You might own a restaurant or a hotel or a nightclub or a lounge. You could just have a retail outlet where you're selling some sort of a product. Now, the thing that I'm going to share with you is if you come from our particular industry, which is either network marketing or online marketing, people typically have some pretty major challenges. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that tonight a little bit. We're going to share with you a little bit about some of the secrets, the seven-figure secrets that you really need to know if you want to start to scale up your business and take your business to the next level. Now, if you've been in a conventional network marketing company, you've probably been told to make a list of your friends and family, your top 200 list, they call it, and to reach out to those people, to share with them about your business, to share with them about your products. And the interesting thing that I'm going to tell you guys here tonight is that the majority of people that would be in just your regular 9-to-5 world, they don't qualify to be entrepreneurs, okay? There's only two types of people that actually are qualified. And those two types of people are actually either in a state of transition right now in their life, or they've reached a breaking point in their life, or a combination of both those two things, transition and breaking point. Okay. Now, guys, what I'm going to share with you here tonight is that you really want to get a pen and paper handy because we're going to be talking about a lot of different strategies, a lot of different concepts, a lot of different ideas that will help to shift your mindset to really understand about the seven-figure mindset. Very, very important if you want to leave here and you want to get value from tonight's broadcast. Now, the thing I'm going to share with you about this particular type of a business model, if you're in the home-based business industry, is that people in general, they don't like to harass their friends and family. So if you've been in a few opportunities in the past, as soon as your leader says, make a list of your top 200, you start to get this little bit of a, squeamish feeling in your stomach. Doesn't feel too good. Now, why is that? Because of the second major pain point that people have. They hate getting rejected, okay? Rejection totally sucks. And what it does, it actually lowers down your confidence and self-esteem until you feel like you're just pummeled down to the ground. And you don't even want to talk to anybody about your business, right? Even if you have the best products in the world, right? You could have the best thing out there, the best energy drink, the best antioxidant, the best weight loss, skincare, nutraceutical products, but it seems like from what you're being taught, nobody seems to be interested. I mean, heck, you can't even give the stuff away for free. In fact, today is kind of a little bit of a closure for me because I actually used to be in that business model. And I have an entire spare bedroom filled with shakes, drinks, all sorts of weight loss products, mixes, nutraceuticals, and I put that stuff in a big pile today and I took it out to the dumpster. I was done with it. I still haven't tackled my garage yet because I got coffee, tea, mocha, hot chocolate, all sorts of stuff stacked up in boxes because literally, guys, I'm telling you, even giving away samples, right? It's a really tough grind if you're not properly trained how to do this business model in the first place. So people don't like getting rejected, but after they burn through their list, now what? Now what do you do? How does a person generate leads for a network marketing company? Good question, right? Do you go out and say, ground floor business opportunity, expanding into these countries, looking for 5 leaders, right? No, you don't. Trust me. And those are all the people that are wasting their money. Now, the other thing is that even if I was to hand you 20,000 leads, you wouldn't even know what to do with them anyway, other than to pitch them, right? Now, because of that, people typically don't get any duplication in their business because they're not even making any money themselves. So the thing that I'm going to share with you about the network marketing business model is once you understand these 5 major pain points, you can actually help other people in the industry as a leader. And that's our business model. It's not a features and benefits driven business model. It's actually a personal development leadership business model. So people that come from typically real estate, mortgage broker, insurance, automotive industry, retail, they don't get our industry. It doesn't make any sense to them whatsoever. They got these great products. Nobody wants to buy them. They keep on getting rejected and they can't figure out how to get their business into liftoff. So you have to be able to solve the pain of the marketplace. Now, if you've got an online business, there's 2 major pain points there. The first pain point is people don't have any money for traffic, right? They've already used their money to get their products. Now what do? They've got no money left. So they don't have a budget to properly run their business, and they don't have the big money for the high ticket products. So in essence, they don't even want to start to market the company because they can't afford to get those high ticket products all the way up to the top. They're not even going to make the commission. So that's a huge problem. So what we do inside of Top Recruiters Academy is we help you to really understand what our industry is all about. The real product is you. The real product is leadership. Now, that's actually what you signed up for when you first got into our industry, just so you know. But how does a person move into leadership? How do they actually break through their fear and step into their power and step into their greatness so that they can actually just speak from their heart, just as their normal self? And in order to do that, you sort of got to take off your mask to just be the real you. And that's a journey. It's a journey of self-discovery. It's a journey inward to really understand you. What do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you see? What do you believe about you? What is your self-talk? Because this right here is where your business starts. What do you believe to be true? Do you believe that it's going to be really easy, that money is flowing too easily and effortlessly, that your phone is ringing off the hook with incoming calls, that every time you log onto Facebook, there's people there that want to join your business? Do you believe that money is flowing to you like an avalanche of abundance? Or do you believe, oh, it's hard, right? Do you believe that? Do you believe, are you expecting people to say no to you? Are you already have that feeling inside you where you're expecting them to reject you? You're expecting them to say that they're not interested. You're expecting them to say that they don't have any money. So it's very, very important that you understand these basics of our industry first, right? And that you know exactly what to do to target the pain of the industry so you can generate unlimited number of leads. Now, most people that get into our business model, here's the biggest challenge. Their leader is telling them to go pitch their business. Now, if you're with a weight loss company and I'm with a skincare company, we both think we have our ticket to the promised land. Otherwise, we wouldn't have joined the business in the first place. So now what happens? You got instant friction right here, okay? Now, the 7-figure income earners, just so you know, They don't do that. Okay, now what do? They actually target the pain of the marketplace. So they target things like how to become a top recruiter, how to never get rejected ever again, how to generate unlimited leads for any business. So they're targeting something on the front that's gathering all these qualified buyers from every company that are already sold on the business model. And then on the back end, what's behind door number one is their primary business. Now, what that does is it allows you to actually build your list for free on the front end. And then when you have the qualified buyers, now present them with your business opportunity. Now, this is how the seven-figure income earners, you'll see them rising up to the very top of the leaderboards in record time. Sometimes in the very first week, you'll see them recruiting hundreds of people into a program. How exactly do they do that? That's exactly what you'll learn inside of the Top Recruiters Academy. So it allows you to 10x your income because you've got 10x the people, you've got 10x the leads, and you've got 10x the cash flow to be able to scale up your business, okay? Now, the interesting thing about it is that once you get those leads, now what? Now what? What do you do with those people? How do you get them to actually get interested in what it is that you have to offer? Now, that requires you to sort of peel back the layers of the onion to get inside of here and inside of here so that you can step into your power and step into your greatness. Now, when you're on the spinner over here, right, which was where most people are, just so you know, you don't know what to do. There's so many different moving parts, and a lot of times you can get pulled down the wrong rabbit hole, right? Now, you only truly need one marketing strategy, one, okay? You don't need 10, you don't need 20, you don't need 100. You need one single marketing strategy that you're passionate about. Now, what that actually ends up being after you're through the Top Recruiters Academy is that becomes your special sauce. That becomes something that's very unique. It's very different. It's only available through you. And that becomes your attractor factor. And this is what people don't understand about 10xing your income. So I'm going to give you an example here. I was the #1 income earner with a company called Explocial. And everybody else was marketing Explocial, but I wasn't. Now, how could the top income earner not be marketing the primary business? I was marketing my special sauce over here. Now, in that particular program, it was the Academy of Quantum Physics Mind Mastery. And that was at the time a $5,000 bonus that I was actually giving people if they joined me in this particular program. Now, I want you to understand the psychology behind this, because all the testimonies started coming from my special sauce. And people say, well, I want that. How do I get that? Oh, you get that when you join this, okay? Now, right now, I'm the top income earner with a company called Exodus Elite, okay? So there's people over here that are marketing the primary business. I'm not. Now, how could I be the #1 top income earner in that company by not marketing my primary company? Think about that. I'm over here marketing to the pain of the marketplace. So I'm marketing Black Ops Underground marketing. You see how that works? So all the testimonies start coming from helping people solve the pain. So we've got people as young as 17 years old. Their first month, they made $35,000. We've got mothers, 10 grand their first month, part-timers, engineers, 13 grand their first month, construction workers, 26,000 their first month. We even got a guy that just got out of prison that made $28,500 his very first month in business. Now, how's that possible? Because this thing right here, this special sauce becomes the magnet. This right here becomes the attractor factor. Now, here's what's really bizarre, guys. I'm going to share something really bizarre about this. so many testimonies start coming from this. Somebody that's already here says, well, I want that. How do I get that? Right? I'm already in this company. Well, that's unfortunate. The only way that you can get it is if you buy that through our team. They will actually repurchase the product to get this. Okay? Now think about that. Somebody that's already bought the products will rebuy the products just so they can get your extra value and your bonuses. This is the power, guys. And this is what we cover in the Top Recruiters Academy. So a lot of people say to me, they say, Darren, is it really true? Did you start a business and in 30 days make over $165,000 in profit? Yes. How did I do that? I did that using this strategy. I developed my special sauce. The special sauce is going to solve the pain of the marketplace so that people don't have to get rejected. They don't have to harass their friends and family. They can generate unlimited leads, close, upsell to higher ticket products, and get massive team duplication. I can also show somebody how to raise $10,000 a month for marketing and how to go from 0 to 100,000 for their high ticket products. I did it in 30 days, right? 0 to 165. I can show somebody how to go from 0 to 100, right? So this thing over here, this is the magic, right? And whatever it is that you market, it doesn't matter. This could be a weight loss, skincare, nutraceutical deal. It doesn't matter. What people are really buying, guys, this is the key. They are buying you. They're buying your vision, your pathway to success, your, what I call your golden ticket, right, to the promised land, and they're buying your leadership. Okay, so these are some of the basics that we cover here. But, you know, every once in a while, we have these incredible stories of people that were struggling over here when they first got into this industry, and they were doing everything the company was telling them to do. They made their list. They tried that whole thing. They tried going and doing videos. They tried doing blogging. They tried doing Facebook. And they just couldn't get any traction. They're just like spinning their wheels, spending money on paid traffic, and they just couldn't get any traction. Now, what is going to be that unlock, that the key that unlocks the vault is really going to be about you, your personal development, you stepping into your power and stepping into your leadership so that you can become the attractor factor. Now, in the Top Recruiters Academy, we have a program that people go through called Unleash the Alpha Within. Now, this comes from 30 years of personal development, working with Tony Robbins in my 20s, 3 years with Dr. Lee Poulos as vice president, learning about the subconscious mind, our core beliefs about money, the programming that we've had from our parents, from our teachers, from the media, from movies. And actually, we have to reprogram your program. Now, think about that. You've been actually programmed all this time along your time continuum, and we got to reprogram it, right? So that you have new beliefs, new core beliefs about money, so that you can get over 4 major things in your life: deservability, worthiness, self-love, and boundaries. Now, how are you going to be able to do that? You're going to be able to do that by understanding how your thoughts, your words, what you say and what you write, and what your emotional connection is to either everything you want or everything that you don't want, and how that affects the reality. So you actually learn how to use the game controller in the reality, just like a video game, guys, just like Donkey Kong, right? Just like Super Mario Brothers, it's exactly the same. Now, once you actually understand this, your life goes 10x, because you're peeling back layers of the onion to really understand what is your part in the reality. How are you creating your own reality? Now, once you can do that, you become in control, and you become in a much higher state of consciousness, so that when something does happen, when you get a curveball throwing at you, you understand how to use the game controller, right? Really, really powerful. So we take people through this program called Unleash the Alpha Within that helps you to build your confidence, build your self-esteem, really to trick your own subconscious mind to believe that your future reality has already happened, right? It's a phenomenon, guys. Now, if you've ever watched the movie called The Secret, right? I've watched it many times. Also a movie called What the Bleep Do We Know? The Quantum Edition, Down the Rabbit Hole. You want to write these things down because they will really help you along this path. And the book called Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. These are pinnacle points that once you understand these concepts, also the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles will have a dramatic impact on how you can start to steer the reality, because you have to start to be aware of vibrational resonance. We're like these radio broadcast beacons that are broadcasting a certain frequency, right, out to the electrons, right? We cover this in great detail. So once you go through and you learn these 5 simple steps to wealth creation, boom, the abundance flow opens and you can actually start to manifest income and great, amazing things, relationships, people, all sorts of things into your life like that at record pace. Now, a lot of people, they don't, necessarily even believe to be true until they actually go through the process and they're like, holy cow. We did an interview last night with a lady. She was living on her credit cards, buying her groceries on her credit cards, single mom. And in 2 months of going through the Top Recruiters Academy, she made $40,000 in the bank. She wrote and published her own book, and now she's a speaker. Now think about that. We're only talking 2 months here, guys. We're not talking about 2 years, right? We're talking about 2 months for all of that to happen. Now she's risen to the top of the leaderboards. She's now got speaking engagements in her local area. She's actually a top leader now, right? She's never, now imagine going from living on your credit cards to a top leader in 2 months, right? It's a phenomenon. And in the quantum world, 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. 1 + 1 = 11, and it scales up exponentially. So what I want to do here is I'm going to share this story with you. You're going to meet here today a lady by the name of Michelle Anderson, and she's a mom. She's got 2 kids. She works from home. She was doing the business on a very casual part-time basis to generate a little bit of extra income, so she didn't actually have to go out and get a 9-to-5 job. She wanted to make money from home, but she tried everything. She tried everything. She tried everything that the companies were telling to do, everything that the leaders were telling her to do. And then she realized that maybe, just maybe, she had to go inward and really start to do some personal development work. And what typically happens, guys, is that you get to a certain point of trying and trying and trying, and that weight and the pressure keeps on coming down more and more and more until you finally just emotionally lose it, right? And I want her to share that story with you, because I believe that if you really want to go next level, you actually have to break down to break through to go to the next level in the reality, right? You've got to let all these emotions out of your body, almost like hitting the reset button so that you can advance to the next level in the game. It's a phenomenon, but once you get it broken down step by step, you really understand the power of the mind and the power of what we can do as human beings to create these incredible, phenomenal results. She went from 0 to $10,000 her very first month in business as a part-time mom working from home. So Michelle Anderson, welcome to the call.
Thanks so much, Darren. It's awesome to be here.
So Michelle, tell us a little bit about your story. I know that you struggled a long time in the industry, and you were blogging and you were doing videos and you just weren't getting any traction, certainly not a full-time income. Tell us a little bit about that story.
So I actually came across the online world a couple of years ago after my husband lost his job due to an illness, and he was without work for 6 months. And we were already starting to max out the credit cards, and we couldn't afford to live on the welfare check. And I came across a business where I could blog, and I was going to make money through blogging. And I thought, wow, I could do that. So what ended up happening is that we decided to sell our house so we could cover our bills, and we booked a one-way ticket to go overseas. And we were living the dream. We were on a beautiful beach in Thailand, drinking those mango coladas, eating the pad thai. But what was happening was that even though I was blogging, I was shooting videos, I was posting what I thought was, great images of us having an amazing time, I just wasn't making the sales. I wasn't generating the leads for my business. I wasn't making an income. And it just became a very expensive hobby. So much so that I had to actually contact my dad and say, Dad, I need to come back to New Zealand. And I really dug my toes in. I was like, no, I'm not ready to go back home. No. We were $15,000 in debt. I was sleeping on a sofa bed in my parents' 2-bedroom house with 2 kids, separated from my husband. And even though I was really grateful for their assistance, it was a bitter pill to swallow because, here I was, 43 years old. I left home when I was 17, and here I am sleeping on a sofa bed. And a friend of mine at the same time was having success in her business, and we'd started at the same time blogging our way to riches. And I reached out to her and said, what are you doing? And she said, wow, I connected with Darren Little. So I did that, and that's really where my journey began, tapping into personal development, because I wasn't a believer in personal development because I was okay as I was, so I thought. And I remember, again, well-meaning friends and family were saying to me, when are you going to give up on this business? When are you going to put your children in daycare and before and after school care and get a real job? Now, I was already sad, but then I got mad, and I went for a walk, and I broke down in tears. As Darren said, I had the breakdown before I had my breakthrough, and it wasn't pretty. It was, I won't go into graphics, but 1 Kleenex wasn't enough. And I was actually crying so loud. It was about 9:30 at night. It was dark. A guy 2 houses down and across the road actually came over to me to ask if I was all right. So, and that's when, I got that I have to take responsibility for my life, and I have to step into my power and adapt the principles that Darren was talking and follow the formula. And that's when that whole shift happened, and I made that first $10,000 online. So
now I want to just actually talk about that for a second, Michelle, because, here you were on this path, just burning through money every month and not getting the sales, right? So you're actually just living off the money of your savings account, and it was dwindling down further and further and further and further until you actually had to call your parents and ask them to buy you a ticket to come home. So it was kind of like, it's kind of actually in a lot of way what a lot of these online marketers do is they think that they can fake it until they make it. They think that if they can project that they're living some sort of a lifestyle, like, hey, look at us on the beach, look at here, we're sipping pina coladas, that's going to become the attractor factor for their business. But what they find is that it's not congruent, guys, just so you know. It's very important that you get this right now in this broadcast, is that you can't fake results. You can't fake a lifestyle. You either have the lifestyle or you don't have the lifestyle. And what I always tell my students is something that, people say to me, well, Darren, what do I do when I first get started, right? I'm going to share with you guys what happened for me, okay? using one of the things that I teach, the very first thing that you have to master, the skill that you have to master, is understanding the pain, right? You've got to speak to the pain of the marketplace to be able to generate the lead, okay? That's how you generate the leads, okay? So the first little bit of success that you have is how many leads can you generate consistently on a daily basis using whatever your special sauce is, whatever marketing strategy that you've chosen. You only need one, guys, okay? Don't get fooled by these people that tell you you need Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and Snapchat. Don't do it, okay? Master one marketing strategy, one, okay? Now, what you're going to do is you're going to actually start by learning the pain and speaking to the pain so that you can actually attract the buyers, the qualified buyers to you. They're already sold on the business model, keep in mind. 97% of the people out there are failing. So you've got to be able to attract those buyers to you and consistently get a certain number of leads, okay? So that becomes your first baseline success story, okay? Now, watch how this works. So if I'm with weight loss and you're with skincare, and I'm going out tooting my horn for weight loss and you're tooting your horn for skincare, we've got that, okay? But if I say to you on social media, on a broadcast, and I say, hey, everyone, I just learned this really cool strategy that generated 55 red hot targeted leads in 24 hours, right? Does anybody want to learn how? Now, who's coming? Think about that. Weight loss is coming, skincare is coming, nutraceuticals is coming, energy drinks is coming, online tools is coming. They're all coming to your broadcast where you now have the opportunity to be the leader. Now think about that. The person that's speaking, the person that's sharing their screen, the person that's doing the PowerPoint presentation is seen as the leader. So that is the first step, and that's in the area of lead generation. Now, here's what happened for me in one particular situation. Then I'm going to go back and ask Michelle some questions on this rocket launch that she took off to go from 0 to 10,000. Guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have a blueprint, you don't have a mentor, that is not an easy task to go from nothing to a $10,000 month in 30 days, 1 month, okay? There's a lot of people that have been in network marketing for 3, 5, as long as 10 years that never make 10,000 in 1 month. She did it in her very first month, okay? Now, once you have the leads, right, you're gonna start to build a list, okay? Now, you have to be able to start to generate a relationship with those people. What we typically do is we put them back into a personal development group on Facebook, which is free. You just have to provide content, motivation, inspiration, stories, right? We have a specific content formula that we'll teach you so that you can actually change people's state and take them up and down the emotional scale, right? Just with your content without even talking to them. Now, so what happened was that I sent out an email blast to my list that was going to go into an automated sales funnel, and I went out for lunch. Now, here was the phenomenon that happened for me, and this totally changed every aspect of my business. It was about 2:30 in the afternoon. I hadn't had lunch yet, and I went out to this little tiny Oriental place, this Chinese food, and I ordered some beef and broccoli. The lady comes over, she's pouring me the green tea, and I am so hungry that when that food came down, I'm just like wolfing this stuff back, but my phone started to send me text messages. Ping, right? And I'm eating a little bit more. Ping, right? I'm eating a little bit more. Ping. And I thought, who the heck is trying to get a hold of me through text message? And I picked up my phone and I looked at the text, and lo and behold, it was my business sending me commissions. Now, during the time that I was at lunch, okay, so keep in mind, I'm not on the phone. I'm not on three-way phone calls. I'm not doing home parties. Just during the time I was eating my beef and broccoli, I made $75, okay? Now, It does not have to be a big income story. That's what people don't understand. So I had my lead story, and now I had my $75 story while eating beef and broccoli, right? Completely automated. And I put out a post and I explained what happened, right? Which is storytelling. So I explained what happened, what time of day it was. I actually took a picture of my beef and broccoli and my fortune cookies after I finished, and I wrote a story about what had happened and how I had made the $75. Now, do you realize that one single post of me making $75 at lunch while eating my lunch generated 18 new incoming inquiries? 18. Now, from that, it started to, some of those 18, when I reached out to them to connect with them, they wanted to know what funnel did I use? What traffic did I use? What was the product that I was selling? They had all these incoming questions for me. Incoming, guys. Incoming calls, incoming Skype, incoming emails, right? So from that, I now created a little bit bigger of an income story. So I did a whole nother story on that. Now I piggybacked off the beef and broccoli story, and now I'm actually telling the story of how my business is growing. Do you realize that from that $75 at lunch story, by the time I hit my third month, I had a $25,000 month by taking people what I call underground. Now, what's underground? When you take somebody underground, you're taking them behind the scenes of the development of your business, the exact strategies that you're using, the exact formula, the exact copy that you're writing, the exact images, the exact stories that you're telling, and how that gets your business into liftoff. Okay. Now, once I got to a certain point of that success, what I did was I said, hey, everyone, who here wants to learn how I started a business, and within this amount of period of time, here were my results. Here's the number of leads that I generated. Here's the number of sales that I made. And here's my total income. And I listed everything, right? So I did these webinars now showing people exactly what I did, the exact formula, the exact strategy. Now, think about that. Would you want to know that? Would you want to know how I did that with the exact post, the exact copy, the emails that I sent out to my list? Think about that. That's how you become the attractor factor. So what I did now was I took that and I handed it over to Michelle. Okay? I handed the baton of a tried, tested, proven campaign, and I showed her exactly what I said to the prospects. What was the first thing that I said? What was the first thing that I would say to a lead, right, if I'm going to reach out to them? And the exact sequence of questions that I used in order to take them right down that straight line to the finish line. Now think about that. Getting a 7-figure income earner to hand you their formula on exactly what they did. Now, Michelle, share with us from that starting point, what was the progression of your business? What did it look like?
Oh, it just grew exponentially from being in a negative situation. And then when you start getting those $1,000 commissions, which were getting paid into my PayPal account on the same day. And because I live in New Zealand, 1,000 US dollars, I think, is about 1,400 New Zealand dollars. Now, to put that into perspective, my husband's take-home pay is about 500 US dollars a week. Okay, so it was a huge difference. And to be able to show people the formula that I was being taught and how simple it was, and not having to reinvent the wheel, because I myself was very good at reinventing the wheel. It's just amazing. And just to see that, the $1,000 and the $1,000, and you just get more and more confident because you step into your power and you drop your ego, surrender your pride, and be coachable. And that's what I had to do, was be coachable and stop reinventing that bloody wheel.
So Michelle, let me ask you this question, because a lot of people are probably wondering, like, was this some sort of high tech thing that you had to learn? Like, was it easy? Could anybody do it? Could another mother with a couple of kids, could they do it? Could somebody do this part time and have those type of results that you did, where you made 10,000 your first month?
Oh, absolutely. Because we're using Facebook and putting out, value posts, which is pretty much what we do every day, but learning how to, I guess, master that. And I work around my two children. So they were at home with me at the time. One of them is now at school. The other one is still at home with me. So it's really important for me to be that stay-at-home mum and work around their needs. So, realistically, I was spending probably about 3 hours a day on the business. So it is truly, truly possible to work it around kids.
So Michelle, let me ask you this, because you were saying that you didn't really know that this was a personal development business model in the first. A lot of people don't know, guys. Okay, if you're just tuning into this right now, and you're in network marketing, MLM, affiliate marketing, online marketing, and you think that you're actually selling products, right? Which products do get sold, but they get sold in a different way. They get sold in a completely different way. A lot of people don't even realize they're actually in a personal development leadership business model, right? And that if they want to make the big money to, make 40, 50, 100, 150, $200,000 a month, they need to step into their power, and they need to step into leadership to be able to lead a team to victory. So when you started to go through the Unleash the Alpha Within program that we talk about in Top Recruiters Academy, with the 5 steps to wealth creation, and you started to really learn about how do we create the reality in the first place, and the either positive or negative effect of self-talk that's going to have on your life, and how your physiology in your body actually is your compass steering that ship that's going in the sea, either into the rocks or into the clear sailing. What started to happen for you in all areas of your life once you learned these principles?
Oh, there was like a shift. And it happened sorry, I'm choking on my words. It was like a shift. It was like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders when I gave myself permission to love myself. I think that was the real key thing, was to learn to love myself and to know that I was worthy of success. Because I was always, worried about, where was the next dollar coming from. So, it wasn't clear to me at the time that those thoughts that I was putting out, or that the lack mentality, was not having a good effect on my bank account. So listening to Darren talking about, your vibration and lifting that up, and when you love yourself enough, you can open up that Pandora's box, then what you get back is, I guess, tenfold. So when you 10 times in your income, as you would say, and that was the key. And it's a daily process. It's always work in process, but it's a lot easier now once you know the steps, which is what we learned within the Alpha Within.
Now, tell us a little bit more about sort of your own evolution into stepping into taking a leadership role, to be able to feel confident, to do a webinar, to do a broadcast, to put value out to the marketplace that's going to solve the pain of the market, where you're actually leading a team to victory. When you first started, right? Because I know that when you first started, I don't think that you even really knew what was going to happen. A lot of people don't. And I'll share with you guys that the evolution that goes into leadership is really a transformation process. It's really like morphing into like the cocoon that the butterfly, the caterpillar into the butterfly, and when you get your wings and you can now fly. Tell us a little bit about that. When you first started on day one, did you ever actually see yourself as doing an entire broadcast with, people watching on YouTube and sharing your screen and doing all these value-based things that you were taught inside of Top Recruiters Academy? Did you even envision that that was going to happen for yourself?
No. I didn't. And I was actually talking to a friend the other day about this, and the importance of stepping into your power and being able to do Zoom calls and being able to do webinars, and that I was never going to be that person. I was quite comfortable to sit on the fence, and that's why I was only earning a hobby kind of income, I guess, because I wasn't stepping into my power and putting myself out there. And I did start with a Zoom call, and it was really scary, and I had to learn how to do it, and then it advanced to a webinar. And I won't lie, I drank wine just to settle the nerves. But I mean, now it's almost like second nature. I'm not concerned about what people think of me or how I'm going to come across. I just have to trust the process, that everything is going to come out all right. And yeah, it's an amazing journey. And I guess now, where I have developed as a person and what I'm creating behind the scenes of Black Ops is something that I would never have considered before. Yeah. And even my son, he's 8. He's like, I want to do what you're doing, Mummy. So,
fantastic.
Great. I mean, maybe it's because I'm on the computer, but but he wants to earn money the way I earn money, which I think is fantastic.
Now, I mean, this is a great message for the parents that are out there. I know that, my son's just coming out of high school. He just graduated, and he's just turning 18. Okay. And I got a call from him this one day when he was about 16, and he calls me up, and he didn't really know how to ask me, right? He didn't really know how to come out and say it. He's like, he goes, "Hey, Dad." I go, "Yeah." He goes, can you like show me what you do?" And I go, "Well, what do you mean?" He goes, like, how do you make this money on the internet? Like, how's that work? Like, can you teach me? I said, sure, I can teach you, right? So at the time, guys, there's parents out there, if you're listening, if you're a parent, okay, I taught my son some very basic strategies on Facebook. Very basic, okay, 16 years old. And the real core of our industry is personal development. So I had him start putting out some personal development related content, which started to attract the right buyers, okay? And he goes to school full time at the time, okay? He was going to the Army and Navy Academy. He's got a 4.0 GPA, and he's on the dean's list, okay? So when you're on the dean's list, you can't be a slacker, trust me, okay? A little bit of accountability there. And so he was doing it in his spare time, in addition to doing his homework, okay? And in a 2-week period of time, brand new Facebook account, never marketed a day in his life before, didn't know anything about anything, and he made $2,069 on a very casual part-time basis, right? When he could fit a little 45 minutes in here or an hour or whatever, maybe do a little bit on the weekend, right? Once he had his homework done. And what's incredible about that, guys, is that he really gained a higher level of confidence, and it put him onto a path of leadership, right, at the Army and Navy Academy. So he elevated other areas of his life, and he started stepping into leadership because of the skills that he had learned. Interacting with people, controlling a conversation, learning how to ask right questions, listening, right? All the things that we give you so that you can start from the beginning and take somebody all the way to the finish line. Now, what was really exciting for me as his dad, right, was to watch the evolution happen so fast, right? In 2 weeks, what happened to him in his ability to interact with people and to step into leadership, to be able to take charge and take control of various different situations in other areas of his life. So people that actually learn these skills, I call these transferable skills. Okay, so once you learn the basics that we cover in Top Recruiters Academy, what happens is that as far as your career goes, okay, your regular career, you'll find that you'll get pay raises, you'll get job promotions. We've got one engineer, 2 pay raises, a job promotion, signed a $30,000 consulting contract, made $40,000 with us on the internet, and tripled his income in 9 months. One lady went from $100,000 a year as a chief financial officer, 60 days going through the training. She got a $212,000 raise at her corporate job from $100,000 to $312,000. But here's the interesting thing. It was the same job. Now, that is shocking, guys. It's shocking. Because have you ever heard something like that? Somebody's at a job and they now get a triple amount of their salary, but it's quite common once you learn these strategies and you understand more about the law of attraction, how you're creating the reality, these two worlds that exist, how you have control over it by your thoughts and how they direct into your emotions and how they're broadcasting. This is all scientific, guys. I'm talking laboratory research science on how wealth creation really truly works, okay? Now, this comes from 30 years of personal development, 30 years of, I call it being a truth seeker, a seeker of truth, to really, what's everything made up of? Like how, have you ever been in that situation where you start really thinking about like the universe and how little tiny we are and we're this little planet Earth, you know what I mean? This vast thing out there. And how does all this stuff interact, right? And I was really curious over the course of my own life about the subconscious mind and about the time continuum and about even things like time travel. I was always researching and investigating and going further and deeper down that rabbit hole to really understand the science behind it and how we can actually, like that, manifest money. It's a phenomenon, guys. I'm telling you, it's a phenomenon. I was with my business partner this one day and I just said, you know what, Ari? I just decided I'm gonna make $50,000, right? And it actually only took me 2 weeks to make the decision and then have that money show up, right? So keep in mind that I've used these same formulas for venture capital. Okay, I've raised tens of millions of dollars for private companies, public companies, my own companies. So if you have some sort of an idea that you've always wanted to be able to take to market, once you learn this stuff, there's no stopping, guys. And I mean that for real, that there's no stopping. We have people, one of my students actually, she just randomly decided one day that she was going to be a pop star. She was working at a law firm, and she told her parents, I've decided, and that's it. I'm going to be a pop star. And boom, she was on her path. And she went through this training, and I got to tell you, her parents actually laughed. They laughed at her, right? They thought she was joking until she finally just drew a line in the sand. And she said, that's it. This is my passion. I'm pursuing my passion, and that's it, period. And she started on this path. She started writing music. She started doing videos. And just this last year, one of her songs was picked up for a commercial by an international company. And boom, she just, right out of nowhere, literally right out of nowhere, poof, right? Just like we talk about in this training. So it doesn't matter really what your real passion and your dream is. Miracles start to happen once you learn the actual science behind getting rich, how the law of attraction works, and how you can manifest anything that you want into your reality. Now, even the 17-year-old kid, imagine you're 17 years old And in 6 weeks, okay, he made over $50,000 in profit at 17 years old. Now, his dream was that he actually wanted to become a Forex trader. Okay, so he needed to be able to go manifest $50,000 so he could put it in a Forex trading account and he could be a Forex trader. Okay, so he did it. And he just called me about 2 weeks ago and he says, you know what, Darren, I've been thinking about this and I think I want to go another round. I want to manifest 100,000 this time because I think my account would look a lot better with another 6 figures in it, right? So he's coming back now for a second round, right? But where's he going to be at 20? Think about that. If you have children, I'm telling you, there's no better gift that you could actually give your kid that's coming out of school than to learn these strategies, right? It's a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon. And the amazing thing about it is that the energy transfers to other people, to other areas, right? So when you get on a broadcast, we only work with 15 people in a collective, right? 15. When you get on a broadcast, I call this an energy portal that you're on right now. Anything that has a broadcast going through it where energy can transfer through, that includes this, that includes Skype, that includes Facebook, that includes this broadcast, and also Zoom, which will hold more people. When you get onto that type of a portal, there's something that happens called energy transference, okay? Now, imagine that your particular body is vibrating at a certain energy, right? And then you take a higher vibration and you inject it into the collective. Your vibration goes from to a higher vibration, and that's when the breakthroughs start happening, right? This right here, okay, right here is the area where we hold all of our emotions, okay? All of our timeline, all the stuff that's happened in our lives is held right here. And when that puppy is ready to blow, it starts to do this. When you're talking about it, when you talk about something that happened in your past, you can hear it in somebody's vocal cords. That's their Pandora popping up and bubbling up like they're going to break down, right? Now, you actually have to break down to break through, right? Michelle was talking about a little bit about that. Michelle, talk to us a little bit about all the stuff that happened up to that point where that weight was coming down so heavy on you that it almost feels like it's the end of the world. Tell us a little bit about that.
Definitely. Sorry, there's a bit of background noise because I've got a couple of kids there. So our dream was to travel the world with our kids. And then when my business wasn't performing, I wasn't performing in my blogging business, to have to, swallow my pride and call my family to ask me to send us back to New Zealand. Everything that we had was in storage. We had no house, we'd sold it. So that was in storage. We had nothing to go back to. Our dream was in tatters, and to be sleeping in my parents' house on a sofa bed when I left home when I was 17. It was just hard in a very small house with a couple of rowdy boys and some grumpy grandparents. And, when well-meaning friends and family are like, give up and go get yourself a real job. And I'm like, no, because this was really important for me. I wanted to be that stay-at-home mum. I want to be able to go to my children's school events and kindy events and pick them up. And I didn't have that when I was a child because my parents were always working. So I just wasn't prepared to give up on my dream, and I had to find another way. But everything just compounded, and of course, having separated from my husband, having to go to the welfare office to get a benefit, it just all compounded, and then it just, and I'm quite a calm person. And then the top just exploded. It was like a volcano. And then the tears. Yeah.
Now, knowing what you now know after going through Unleash the Alpha Within about the different levels of the game and the process, what happens with the spiral and how to advance to the next level to really step into your power, looking back on it now, does it all kind of make sense of how everything came to be?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And when you say you know, to break down to get that breakthrough and the opening of your Pandora box, and it was just like a huge weight was lifted. It was like almost like a cleansing, just to let it all go, and I guess bring in a new energy and a new thought process to believe that I have the right to abundance and to dream again. And when that switch or when that shift happened, then the money just started coming in, and I was like, "Whoa, hold on a minute."
So,
Yeah.
so Michelle, tell us, a lot of people probably wondering, like, you know, how much money have you actually been able to generate on the internet with all these affiliate programs and everything else? What sort of income you've been able to make from home?
All up, I've probably made about 35,000 US dollars, which would equate to about 50,000 New Zealand. So, you know, Black Ops. Sorry, I have to close the door. You know, that's you know, that is my main business. So that's about $30,000. But then the other programs that I've gone into and been able to monetize, Instagram, for example, it's been, you know, really amazing.
Fantastic. So, guys, what I want to share with you is this, okay? That you know, if you were to go onto my website, right, darrenlittle.com, and click on the button that says mentoring and coaching, if somebody was to get it, you know, say, Darren, I want to do a 1 hour millionaire mentoring session, you'll see the price on there. It's $1,000. Okay. Somebody says, Darren, I want to do a 90-day millionaire mentoring program with you. It's 10 grand. Somebody says, Darren, I want you for a year as a millionaire mentor. It's $40,000, guys. Okay. They're right on my website. So what I do is I like to give back. I like to give back and make a difference. So sometimes, just from the goodness of our hearts, myself and my business partner will do a promotion or a special so that we can have the most amount of impact on people, okay? Because once you get to a certain level of income, guys, it's no longer about you, okay? It's no longer about your family. It's no longer about your house and your car and blah, 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 okay? When you have no debt, okay? So I don't have a mortgage payment. I don't have car payments. I don't have credit card payments. I don't have anything of that. Okay. So it really becomes about giving back and making a difference for other people, the transformations of other people's lives. I call it making universal deposits into other people's lives. And it's that really becomes your life purpose. It's why I believe that's why I was put on the planet. I was given some really incredible gifts, right? Of things that I understand about quantum physics and about how the reality is created. And I can break it down into simple terms that literally even a 5-year-old kid can understand it, to learn how to apply these strategies to get just incredible amounts of breakthroughs happening in their life. So what I do is I put on these 2-month, what I call an intensive, where there's compression during this time. And every week on Saturday, we meet for roughly about 4 hours. And I can tell you that would be like a $4,000 session, right? Now, as well, I do these bonus sessions, sometimes in the evening, sometimes in the daytime, and they're recorded so that you can go over them again. But here's the cool thing, guys. If you were to add all this stuff up, somebody would pay $38,000 for it. But you don't have to pay that. You don't have to pay $38,000. You don't have to pay $25,000 or even 20 or 15 or 10, right? You don't have to pay $8,000. I've compressed it all the way down so that it could be affordable for the masses. Okay, now keep in mind, this is 2 months, right? 2 months intensive. And the entry price is $4,750, but I've taken it even an easier step. So I'm so confident in what it will do for people that I've actually split it into 2 so that they put one payment down of $2,500, right? And another payment doesn't happen for a month. Now, you got to be pretty darn confident in what you can do from a value standpoint to help another person completely transform their life for that to be able to do that. Because I'm taking the risk, guys. Think about that. I'm taking the risk, right? I'm not saying that, you have to go in with a $47.50. You do save a little bit of money, save $250 if you do that. But you can commit to the program for $2,500 and then 30 days later, pay the balance, okay? Now, if a person can go from, we got one couple that went through our program, Jennifer and Jose, and they were actually being evicted when they called me. They've got 6 children. They were 2 days with no water. Imagine that being a parent, 2 days with no water. And they said, Darren, we're in dire straits. We don't know what to do. And I said, okay, I want you to implement this exact formula that I'm going to give you for 10 days. Okay, just 10 days. Okay, and you see what happens. In 10 days, they made $5,400. Right after that, they committed to the Top Recruiters Academy. Obviously, after that, they were like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. So they committed to Top Recruiters Academy. Right after that, they made $8,000. Okay, now right after that, they made $30,000, and Jose just signed a 6-figure deal. Okay, now this is the same couple that was being evicted. They were on the verge of homeless and 2 days with no water. And now, I mean, just in this little 4-month period of time, already they're at 130,000 plus now, right? Because of what they've learned in this program. Now, was it worth it? Think about that. They're never, ever going to have to worry about money again for the rest of their life, right? Charlene, from living on her credit cards, 2 months, 40,000, wrote and published her own book, top leader now, and she's doing speaking engagements, motivating and inspiring other entrepreneurs. These are common stories, guys, common, once you learn this. Now, in March, we were sold out. In April, we were sold out. In May, we were sold out. In June, we were sold out, okay? The next program starts on the 1st of July, okay? There's only 7 spots left, okay? And I can tell you that when I do these broadcasts and people really see the value that's really here, they just go, brrr, right? Because people realize that they can completely change their life for the first down payment. And I'm not joking you when I tell you this, guys. These are the same strategies that I have personally used to make millions of dollars. My best year in business is almost 4 million. And I've also used them in venture capital, raising money, launching my own products, my own companies. And once you learn these formulas, you will never, ever have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. And that you can take to the bank. I'm completely serious. So what you want to do is you want to click that link below right now. You've either got the one-time payment or the split payment. All I can tell you is this: trust this process, okay? If you're a person that really wants to 10x your life, you really, truly want to 10x your income, you know that you are worth more. You know that you're worth more, right? And it really comes down to a couple key areas, guys. Do you feel deserving? Do you feel worthy? Do you love yourself? And do you have healthy boundaries? And we're going to help you to get through this process so you can get that stuff out of your body so that you can step into your power, you can step into your greatness, and you can lead a team to victory. Now, Michelle, what would you say to people that are tuning in right now about Unleash the Alpha Within and Top Recruiters Academy?
Just do it. It changed my life. It really, really did. And as I said earlier, I wasn't into personal development. I was just like, whatever, I'm all right. And then I realized how much a mindset is important to success in your own life and in your business. So don't hesitate. I would highly, highly recommend that you do this, especially if you've been struggling like I was and your business is an expensive hobby, but you want to take your life to the next level. Then Just
Good.
do it like Nike says.
Good stuff. Well, you know what, Michelle? It's such a pleasure. It's such a treat to have you on here. I'm so glad to have you back in leadership and really going to that next level. And what's cool about this stuff, guys, just so you know, is that it never goes away, right? Once you learn these skills, it doesn't matter if you decide to go on vacation for a while and come back to a career path, or take some time off and come back into a career path. Once you learn these formulas, it's literally like riding a bike, and you can pull it out at will and be able to manifest anything you want into your reality, become a peak performer, become a top recruiter, rise to the top of the leaderboards, never get rejected ever again, not have to harass your friends and family, learn how to generate unlimited leads in your business, close, upsell to higher ticket products, get explosive team duplication. I'm talking about 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 levels down in your organization. Raise $10,000 a month for your monthly marketing budget, raise up to $100,000 for your high ticket products, and never have to worry about money again for the rest of your life. So throw your hat over the wall, click that link below, get one of those last final spots. My name is Darren Little from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. I'm excited for you. July 1st at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Get ready, buckle up, because we are taking things to a whole nother level. Thanks a lot for joining us, and have a great day. All the best.
Bye.